Toyota isn't just back in Formula One. They're running a slow-burn, cold-blooded takeover of Haas. By 2027, this team won't look anything like it does today. Think this partnership is just logos on a wing? Think again. Behind closed doors in Banbury, Maranello, and Cologne, the balance of power is shifting fast. Toyota chairman Akio Toyoda isn't dropping millions to give Japanese engineers a cool field trip. He's building a factory team from the ground up, inside someone else's house. And Gene Haas? He's holding the ticket to the biggest exit payout in F1 history. Let's connect the dots everybody else is missing. Late 2024. Haas drops a technical deal with Toyota Gazoo Racing. On paper, it looked simple. Toyota gets track data and real-world testing. Haas gets high-end facilities, hardware, and raw brainpower. Most fans blew it off. They said Toyota burned out in 2009. They said Toyota would never commit again. Then came the title name change. TGR Haas F1. Toyota didn't just buy ad space. They bought naming rights. They embedded engineers into the garage. They took control of core operations. Look at Banbury. Toyota built a state-of-the-art simulator right inside Haas headquarters. Before this, Haas had to fly drivers to Italy to rent time on Ferrari's rig. They were surviving on pennies. Now, Toyota's own tech sits in Haas's living room. Why drop millions into an American team you don't own? Simple. You plan to own it. Why 2027 is the real target Formula One hit a massive reset button with the 2026 rule changes. Brand new engines, brand new chassis, blank slate for everybody. For 2026, Haas remains locked to Ferrari power units and gearboxes. That contract was signed before Toyota stepped in. Team principal Ayao Komatsu kept telling reporters that Ferrari stays as their engine partner. But look at the calendar. The 2026 car was already locked into old architecture. 2027 is where the real Toyota blueprint goes live. Building a winning F1 engine takes time. Toyota couldn't drop an engine onto the grid for 2026 without crashing hard. Akio Toyoda knows that better than anyone. He remembers 2009. He remembers throwing an unlimited budget at F1 and walking away with 0 wins. He swore if Toyota ever came back, it would be bulletproof. No corporate fluff, no reckless spending, just pure, functional infrastructure ready to run. How do you do that? You don't build a new team from zero. You strip an existing team down and rebuild it piece by piece. First, you supply the simulator. Second, you supply manufacturing. Third, you embed your mechanics and aero team. Fourth, you slap your name on the car. Fifth, when the Ferrari deal expires going into 2027, you buy out Gene Haas and launch the full Toyota Works operation, killing the Dallara middleman. Look at how Haas has operated since day one. Since 2016, Haas was an assembly squad. They bought every single legal part from Ferrari: engine, suspension, gearbox. For the chassis, they paid Dallara in Italy to design and build it. Haas never owned a real factory capable of building carbon fiber F1 monocoques. They were cheap, efficient, but capped at a strict ceiling. Toyota is tearing that business model down. Toyota Gazoo Racing Europe owns one of the most advanced factory hubs on Earth in Cologne, Germany. Wind tunnels, autoclave bays, dynamic test rigs, carbon processing. It's the exact facility that dominated Le Mans and swept World Rally Championships. Toyota has already begun moving aero production and manufacturing out of Dallara and into Cologne. Read between the lines. Haas no longer depends on outside Italian vendors to build physical parts. Toyota builds the hardware. Toyota runs the wind tunnel. Toyota handles CAD simulation. Dallara is getting phased out. Ferrari's technical grip on Haas is slipping every month. By 2027, Haas won't be an American team running Italian parts. It will be designed in Banbury, built in Cologne, and backed by Nagoya. Gene Haas's big cash out. Where does Gene Haas fit into this? Why would an American industrialist hand over his F1 project? Money. Pure valuation. Gene Haas bought into F1 when it was cheap. 10 years ago, you could run a backmarker on $100 million out of pocket. Today, with the cost cap and global growth, F1 teams are worth $1 billion to $2 billion minimum. Gene always refused to spend hundreds of millions building new factories. He wanted a team that paid for itself. But F1 evolved. Audi bought Sauber. Aston Martin built a giant campus. Williams got heavy private equity funding. Haas was getting left behind. Gene knew he couldn't fight automotive giants with his own bank account. The Toyota deal solved everything. Toyota pumps in cash, elite tech, and manufacturing power. The car gets faster, the team valuation skyrockets. When 2027 hits, Gene can sell his controlling stake to Toyota Motor Corporation for a massive profit. He keeps a small percentage or a ceremonial title and walks away with a massive payout. It's the cleanest exit strategy in modern sports history, clearing out the drivers. You know who actually runs a team by looking at who gets the seats? Oliver Behrman is locked in as a long-term star. He's fast, aggressive, and highly rated. But look at the second seat. Esteban Ocon joined Haas, expecting to lead the project. Instead, his long-term spot for 2027 is under intense pressure. Paddock whispers, confirm Haas management is already evaluating options. Ocon's deal has performance triggers, and Toyota wants a driver aligned with their own roadmap. Who is Toyota backing? Look at their private track tests. Toyota Gazoo Racing is running heavy testing programs using older Haas machinery. They aren't running these sessions with random drivers. They put World Endurance champion Ryo Hirakawa in the car. They put Super Formula star Sho Suboi in the car. Toyota is building a talent pipeline. They aren't just training mechanics. They're preparing Japanese drivers for modern F1 machinery. Then look at the driver market for 2027. Yuki Tsunoda's name keeps surfacing around Haas. Tsunoda is a proven F1 driver. With Honda shifting away from Red Bull to partner with Aston Martin, Tsunoda's path at Red Bull is reaching its natural end. Toyota placing Yuki Tsunoda in a TGR Haas seat for 2027 would unleash a wave of Japanese support. It gives Toyota an established, top-tier driver immediately, and gives Tsunoda a manufacturer-backed home for the next phase of his career. If not Tsunoda, Toyota has their eyes on top junior talent and internal TGR racers who spend hundreds of hours in the Banbury sim. The point is clear. Driver decisions for 2027 won't be made in Maranello or by Gene's checkbook. Toyota Gazoo Racing calls the shots. Toyota's redemption story. To understand why this is happening, look at Akio Toyoda. He isn't a corporate suit looking at charts from a high-rise office. He goes by Marizo, an aggressive, tire-shredding driver who competes in endurance races. He lives for racing. When Toyota pulled out of F1 in 2009 during the economic crash, Toyota was heartbroken. He felt the company abandoned its engineers, drivers, and racing identity. For over 15 years, that mistake lingered. When discussing the Haas partnership, Toyota dropped his corporate guard. He admitted that seeing young engineers get a shot at F1 moved him deeply, adding, "I can say this with confidence. Toyota has finally begun to move. Really move." Those aren't the words of a casual sponsor looking to push road cars. That is a man fixing a personal regret. Toyota isn't repeating 2000's mistakes. Back then, Toyota tried to run an F1 team like a corporate board meeting. It failed because F1 moves too fast for red tape. This time, Toyota hired Ayao Komatsu, a no-nonsense engineer who squeezes efficiency out of every single dollar. Toyota brings raw manufacturing scale. Komatsu brings sharp track execution. Together, they are building a lean, hyper-efficient racing team. Stealth mode is over. Why hasn't Toyota announced a full buyout yet? Timing. In F1, timing is everything. An immediate full purchase triggers massive regulatory headaches. New entrant restrictions under the cost cap. Engine registry filings with the FIA. Expensive contract break fees with Ferrari. By operating as a technical partner and title sponsor, Toyota gets all the control without the political noise. They train staff, upgrade wind tunnels, collect sim data, restructure management. It's a Trojan horse. By the time other teams realize what happened in 2027, the takeover won't be a plan anymore. It will be finished. The evidence is clear. The Banbury sim runs non-stop. Cologne is pumping out chassis components. Japanese engineers fill the pit box. Driver testing is expanding. The team is named TGR Haas. Haas isn't just surviving in F1 anymore. They are transforming into Toyota's factory weapon. The 2027 grid shift. Come 2027, Formula One hits an all-out manufacturer war. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull Ford, Audi, Honda Aston Martin, and Alpine fighting for every tenth of a second. Right in the middle of that war sits Toyota. Not as a gimmick, not as a budget team scrambling to make Q2. They'll have 3 years of direct integration, top facilities, elite drivers, and the financial backing of the world's largest automaker. Gene Haas gets his huge exit payout. Akio Toyoda gets his redemption. Ayao Komatsu gets the resources to win races. Toyota's secret plan isn't a secret anymore. The takeover is happening, and F1 is about to get rocked. Will Toyota turn Haas into a real title contender by 2027? Or will history repeat itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into Formula One. Catch you next time.